Oh. Welcome to Meaningful Mornings. And I'm sure you're also feeling the same, we are continuing to revel, that is, to remember how fortunate we are to have access to the inaccessible. Right now, divinity is inaccessible for us, but we are feeling this is accessible through our maps, through our guides. In our celebration of Pujaswami Chinmayananda's 108th Jayanti, a seeker from Milwaukee, Anvita, had shared, also want to take this opportunity to express my deepest gratitude for this morning. Such a meaningful celebration. As the girls made their offering to Puja Gurudev, I was wondering what I was doing at 5:30 a.m. at 11 and 14 years old. Today's Rad has 3 generations from our family: my mom, sister and me, and my girls. How bhagya are we to have such compassionate grace flowing incessantly in our lives? Another seeker from Pittsburgh, Himabindu, she had shared, I had a joyful and blessed experience today with celebrating Gurudev's birthday with our community. It's like the entire world paused for an hour and it was just us existing. And I would like to express my gratitude to Guruji as well. I would like to share ... Through remembering, this creates an impression on our personality. Smarana, that is the Sanskrit word for remembering, this leads to ramana, reveling. Shri Krishna has shared there are 4 classifications of personalities. All inclusive societies acknowledge, appreciate, and accept all 4 classifications. Even to the extreme, an inclusive society, when they award those who are part of their society, they will award workers, mobilizers, leaders, and thinkers in their own way. If you think of the system of the Nobel Prizes, there's a peace prize, there's a chemistry prize, and so on. Based on our personality, Sri Krishna is encouraging us to evolve, and so he created a covert system, which is to reflect, to realize what the quality of your inner world is, regulate, structure your outer world for your inner world to evolve, and then realize with a capital R. Reflect, realize, regulate, realize. Shri Krishna is now emphasizing the importance of intention. That is what is important, not the implementation. One's intention can flow through the bhava, or the feeling of karma yoga. What I am doing is service. Bhakti yoga. What I'm doing is surrender. Jnana yoga. What I'm doing is purify. What you are doing is less important than why you are doing. For our seekers who are now facilitators, we have developed a code of ethics. This is for them to remember what it means to be a facilitator. And the most important part in this code of ethics is a 3-point plan. That is, nimitta, bhakti, sthane. In English, for them to remember instrumentship. If they remember this, this will pull them into surrendering. And that will pull them into acceptance. Instrumentship, surrender, acceptance, these are not actions. These are intentions. When one follows through with karma, bhakti, jnana, yoga, or instrumentship, surrender, acceptance, in a technical sense, in a philosophical sense, this is described as naishkarmya siddhi. Those who are scholarly will understand or have heard this term before. Naishkarmya siddhi. You don't need to approach this from a scholarly sense. I will never share that you need to do that. One should approach this in a practical sense. Here's what Pujaswami Chinmayananda has written about Naishkarmya Siddhi. When desires are absent, the thought breedings end. When thoughts are dried up, actions which are the parade of thoughts marching out through the archway of the body are no more. This state is called actionlessness. Naishkarmya Siddhi. Trying to give you a visualization of what this profound term means. One has evolved from being at the circumference to being at the center. Everyone can see a tire or a wheel. You've gone from the circumference to the center. What is the center doing in a tire or a wheel? It is being. On account of it being, there is doing. If there's no center, how can a tire or wheel work? This is a visualization for one to reflect on. And now making this even more practical. If you're on the circumference of a wheel or a tire, life is good on top until that turns and then you get crushed. But then you're back on top and then you get crushed again, correct? So there's this constant experience of being crushed. But those who use their equipments, body, mind, and intellect in an intentional way, they don't get crushed. They're at the center, so they crush it. Yes, good play of English, slang words. They crush it. That's what we're trying to experience. And now Sri Krishna brings us back to the final way or the final journey from the circumference to the center. We start this in verse 50. Siddhim prapto yatha brahma tatapnoti nibodhame samase neva kaunteya nishtha jnanasya ya para. Joy. Yatha, how. Prapta, one gains. Siddhim, the power, the experience, that of Brahma, bigness or infinity. Tying all of this together, how does one realize Naishkarmya Siddhi? In this verse, this is described as Brahma, the infinite. When we study in a casual way, Siddhi is the relative in a extreme way. Siddhis are when one experiences more pleasure, more possession, more position. But here, Siddhi is not being described as the relative, it is being described as the absolute. Brahma, offering a reflection on what it means to be infinite. It's where you no longer have a goal. You no longer have a gain. You no longer have a God. That means you've reached the goal, correct? You've experienced the gain, the highest gain. You are God. Only God doesn't have a God. That is our destiny. That is our swadharma. Yatha, how one can experience this, hatha, this is the methodology, apnoti, for one to have this experience, to obtain this, neboda me, learn this from me. Shri Krishna wants Prince Arjuna to be the one who has no God. In other words, he wants Prince Arjuna to be God. Who can teach that? Only God can teach that, correct? In this chapter, you will find the usage of the word me, which means me, as in Sri Krishna, many times. Because when it comes to godliness, this is experiential. Today, in my one-with-one, I was sharing how marriage, parenting, these are experiential, not theoretical. Those who are married, those who have children, they're ones who can share from their experience about being married and having children. The same goes with godliness. Samasena eva kaunteya. Prince Arjuna, I'm going to share this with you. Samasena, in a brief way. Chapter 18 is the summary. It is Sri Krishna who's summarizing the summary. He's offering this in a review format. We reviewed a lot in this chapter in terms of chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5. Now what's coming up? A review of chapter 6. Whenever Sri Krishna uses the word I'm reviewing this or I'm sharing the same, I hope for all of you it's triggering your remembrance of the fuller teachings. Nishtha, to be established, jnanasya yapara, to be established in this highest knowledge, to be established in the truth. The only way to go from the circumference and finally to the center is by going through 3 dwaras, 3 gateways, 3 entrances. And you all know this. This has been extensively shared in our silence retreats in the highest vocation. The first, Guru Dwara. Using your relationship with the guide, Kishiet pushes you to Dhyana Dwara. pushes you into contemplation. In the system of the trust triangle, that would be the map. And from the Dhyana Dwara to Haridwara. You're all thinking, we've already been to Haridwara. The Haridwara. Contemplation pushes one into the center in our trust triangle, that is divinity. The forthcoming verses are a review of Dhyana Yoga, chapter 6, which is awesome. From inspiration to application, your application was for you to research details about our enhanced Seva training. In our graduation yesterday morning, and I would really like for you to listen to this carefully, I'd openly shared with the graduates, seeker to facilitator is one of the best facets of our community, of what we do as a community. And so I'm sharing with you because Meaningful Mornings is the biggest in terms of quantity live gathering that we have. The graduates from our program, and you would have seen their smiling faces on our website. Maybe this will be shared right now with all of you also. Ananya from Buffalo, Annapurna from Seattle, then Jignasa from Atlanta. You see their smiling faces. Zui from Albany, Lavanya from Raleigh, Neha from Washington, D.C., Pankaj from Cleveland, Prema from Houston, Rachana from Atlanta, Rupa from Monroe, Shrikant from Orange, Varsha from Chicago, Vasavi from Seattle, and Vignesh from Washington, D.C. These are our graduates from our seeker to now them being facilitators. This leads me to our further application. These are our alumni, and they've shared reflections on what it means to be a facilitator, and so I want you to listen to their reflections. We have a YouTube playlist where each of them has shared what it means to be a facilitator. Please listen to this so that there's more references on what it means to practice seeking. Shanti, 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 Be joy.